Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to prepare for Shabbat. We're going to make Challa, turkey, Israeli Matbucha, roasted vegetables, delicious basmati rice, Shnitzel, and chicken. Come on, join me and I'll show you how it's done. So usually I make my Challa earlier in the week. I make it about once every 2 weeks and I freeze the Challa, so I make it every other week. This week I went a little bit crazy and I made extra dough. There's a lot of friends of mine that are sick with coronavirus and different things, so I decided to make extra Challa. So here I'm going to make rolls. Make 6 rolls like this. I just have some fun, you know, I make challah with 4 strands. I have a video on how to do this. So I finish rolling out all my doughs. So I just finished shaping my challah. And you can see I made rolls and some 4 strands. And after I egg wash them, put them in the oven, I am ready. Okay, Wednesday night, right before I go to bed, I just prep the chicken and the Shnitzel so that it absorbs all the flavors all night. So to the Shnitzel, I add 2 eggs. And this way also it's ready to go in the morning. I add some silan, I add some soy sauce, I add garlic powder, and finally some paprika. Now I mix these flavors in well, and using my hand is the easiest way for me to do it. So I just mix it all thoroughly in, cover it, and put it in the fridge overnight to absorb the flavors. Next, I just prep up my chicken so it's ready to go tomorrow morning. Take out the chicken and I make a little mixture. I add a little bit of ketchup, some soy sauce, some paprika, some garlic powder, and silan. I'm gonna have to buy some more silan. It's kind of running out, like you can see. Okay, so I just, flavor the chicken, do my hands, and put it bottom up because that's how I'm going to put it into the oven. So I put it away till Thursday morning. Good morning, I'm ready to start my day. I have a lot going on today. We're trying to get it all done today because tomorrow, Friday, we are not cooking. We are going to my in-laws and we're going to go hiking, so we have to really get it all done today. So I write down what I want to do. I'm going to make chicken, schnitzel, rice, and vegetables, matbucha. I write it all down and it makes it easier for me as we go to see that how I'm doing with the list. I grab a cup of coffee before I am ready to get started. The first thing I do is I set the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, put in the chicken, and while that's cooking for 30 minutes, I start getting my rice ready. Rice was always tricky for me and it just never seemed to go well until finally my mother told me her recipe for basmati white rice, and it's very important to drain it. So you wash out the color a few times and then finally you put it in water for about 30 minutes, and that makes all the difference.
Are you being a very good girl? Yes, you are being a very good girl. Trying to show them that you're being a very good girl. You're being very, very good, Matthew.
I clean 20 tomatoes. And my chicken is ready. It's looking great. I think it tastes better than it looks even. But yeah, it's delicious. Not to overcook it. So while the oven's still hot, I get going to my schnitzels. So I take it and I put it in some breadcrumbs. I flip it over, use my body to push into the breadcrumbs. And of course I oil my baking sheet, and I do this process to all the schnitzels. While working, I like listening to music. You can see my phone is over there. And then I'm ready to spray the top. I love spraying. I know it's a little bit expensive compared to just using regular oil, but I love spraying on. This way you use minimal oil, but maximize the taste. My schnitzel is ready to go in. I put the 2 trays in at 180 degrees. And I have 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I flip it over, and then I have 5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes on each side. And this is critical, not a minute extra, because the schnitzel can get dry very quickly. I take these few minutes, of course, to do some dishes, put away the dry dishes. There's always dishes. My mother always says, it's not about the cooking, it's about the dishes. And you really see it that I've been, okay, 4 minutes are up, 5 minutes are up. I'm ready to flip the schnitzel, and 5 minutes later on the other side, it's ready to go. Ah, smells delicious. It looks just done. You don't want it to be any minute extra. Schnitzel right out of the oven. Oh, look how that looks. I can't help myself. I decide to taste some. I cut it up and let me see. Perfect. Okay, I'm ready to do the matbucha and the rice going, so I cut up the clean tomatoes that I just washed. Takes me about 10 minutes to cut it. I'm listening to either a shear or listening to some music. The rice is ready to go. I add the 2 cups of rice after I drain it from the water, and I use hot water. I boil, and I use 4 cups of boiled water. That's going to go in for 15 minutes, and then an additional 10 minutes where it just sits. In the meantime, of course, dishes. I put away some dry dishes, do some new dishes, and my rice is ready. So like I said, rice is actually a little bit tricky for me, and I'm so happy that I found this recipe that is just foolproof and comes out great every time. Usually my husband does these roasted vegetables, but I start out and I start helping him. I cut up some zucchini. I add to that some onion, I love that. Some pepper, and then I realize I better get going to my own stuff because 4 o'clock is coming soon enough and I have to go pick up the 2 bigger kids. So I get my garlic after I smashed it with a cup. And I fry the garlic in some oil for about 1 minute. Then I add the tomatoes. After about an hour, I add in the spices, hot pepper, and I'm off to the kids. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I never saw him do this. So I see he's cutting up the onion. He's gonna start off now on the turkey recipe. So he chops up some onion. And he fries the onion in some oil. That's interesting that he shakes the pot that way. So he mixes the onion, trying to get the onion, you know, a nice color, but not burnt, of course. And I see he's also mixing up my Matbucha for me, so thanks Natan, I appreciate it. While I went to pick up the big kids, he is left here to finish up some of the cooking. So he adds in the turkey, and he stirs a couple of times to get the turkey to have a nice color. And then when it's all seared gray, he adds some white wine to cover. I never noticed that he adds so much wine. Kind of surprised. Never saw him make this recipe, so this is interesting and new to me also. He cooks it for about 45 minutes, covered. Then after 45 minutes, he'll add the spices, and then he'll cook it for an additional 30 minutes. I see he made the vegetables, he made some black pepper, and he mixes it up with oil. It comes out absolutely delicious. Okay, I see he's still cooking. I'm home already. Nice cooking, Natan. And the Matbucha is almost ready to come off. So I see we are about finished. We just have these 2 pots that are still going and are about to come off. Wow, the turkey looks delicious, and it was delicious. Matbucha. Hey guys, so that's our Shabbat prep. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. See you next time.
שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים